Hello and welcome to my studio journal. Now back in 2022, I started to redesign my home studio, shifting from software to hardware for the first time. What began as a few videos for some curious students soon became an ongoing unfiltered record. Okay, so I've been holding on to some of these things for a while, like those Behringer synths up there aren't straying around. You can see all the adapters and cords there, along with the power adapter beside the Korg, along with these things just all packed up there. And all of those cords right there, all those cables are of course to hook together this down here, the rack unit, and also that other gear that I've set up there. So one of the issues that I had was, if I have a synth like that, for instance, so that's the Mini Freak by Arturia. How do I see it? Because, like, for instance, if I stand up like this and I come over to stand in front of it, that's what I see. I have absolutely no ability to see any of the controls. So today I'm going to try and solve that problem. All right, so this is kind of what the plan is. I always thought it would be neat and very helpful if these were sliding drawers instead that could just slide out and slide back in with the equipment on, because the problem is I'm standing in front of the Arturia Mini Freak right now and I can see nothing up in here. I can see none of the controls. All I can see is just the edges of keys. It'd be better if I could pull it out. So for instance, if I can pull it up like this, now I can see everything that's there. That's all that's needed. The problem is if I pull this out, this might do this. Okay? This right here, it's not hard to slide out, but it's a little bit sticky here. That's where these come in. So I got these felt strips. I'm going to put them in like that, and that's going to make the shelf really easy to slide in and out. I can't use shelf or drawer sliders on this because that would bump this up a whole bunch, and I don't have the room between the next shelves, especially on something like this. The most practical thing is for me to take these adhesive strips, throw them under here, so this will make this slide really nice and easy. Now the problem is, if I pull this out, we have the tendency where this might do this. That's a little iffy as to whether this stays there or not. Like right here, it's perfectly fine. But you can even see if I let it go, it might have that tipping point. That's where this comes in. I would slide this out a little bit. I take this, just put the clamp on, a couple of turns like that, and this is going nowhere. It's not turning. This bracket's a little loose. Obviously, I gotta tighten that up. But the thing is, I could then see all the controls. I get the advantage of a pull-out drawer. When I'm ready, I just a couple of turns there, shove the thing back in, and I don't have to worry about anything falling or anything like this. And it's certainly good enough for working on it little bits at a time, which means then that if I put another shelf here, I can pull this out. I can make use of everything. I can put another synth down here and just slide it out and see all the controls and work on it. So that means that I no longer have to worry about a big gap here to see something here and a big gap here in order to get back there and work. This just comes together. Then we have the Scotch tape. So why do I need the Scotch tape? Well, because as you know, I've put lights on every one of these shelves, which is great. But the problem is that if I pull out a shelf like this, you see right here, this cord, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a cord that's hanging down there. What I'd like to do is just take a little piece of Scotch tape and just go around the edge like this and just solidify it up against the shelf so that none of the cords hang down. They'll still have enough slack that I can pull them out without any problem, but they're not going to be hanging down and looking crazy behind the shelves here. Good news is that when I'm doing this, I don't have to do this shelf. There's nothing on that shelf I need. This one is okay for right now because I can see everything here. So I'd have to do this shelf and this lower shelf. So that's two shelves right there. On the other side, there is maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves I would have to do over there. So the next step is I'm going to unload these shelves to a certain degree, and we're going to put those strips on the brackets here and get those things set up so they can slide back and forth easy, tape them into place so that we can move on from there. that's the first big step in this project. So I hate it when the studio gets messy and stuff. It doesn't happen often, but right now, just because I'm stockpiling everything I meant to set up, I'm putting everything in the right place so I know what goes with what. But so we still have that there. That shelf doesn't get pulled up, but we have the strip that completes that shelf, that shelf, that shelf. And I think we have the strip down there that completes those two shelves. So that whole side will be able to be done. Then once again, that top shelf doesn't get any of those felt strips, but this one will, which has it. That one will, that one will. And these last two shelves are the only two shelves that don't have strips. If I have enough leftovers on each one of these strips to actually put and finish off these two shelves, that would be great. If you'd like to follow the full journey, check out my online studio journal linked in the description. Until next time, I'm just a music teacher having fun. Catch you on the next one.